Hello everyone again. This is Lenny Izzo coming to you from Huntington, New York. LennyIzzo.com is my website. This is an ongoing series, and today I want to talk to you about the four principal ingredients for conscious change. The four principal or most important ingredients for conscious change. The series that I had started a few days ago, I entitled The Mystic Entrepreneur. I'm changing that because it pigeonholes me too much. I love talking and teaching and practicing the new principles of entrepreneurship, but that's just one thing that I'm passionate about doing. My new series is called Getting to the Point, because a friend of mine had reviewed one of my videos and said, "Izzo, get to the point. Will you get to the point?" And I can appreciate that that urgency. If we don't live our life with a sense of urgency, then I question how quickly we're moving forward in the path of conscious change. So there is a sense of urgency. However, the other side of that need, I need you to get to the point, is the whole world is looking to get to the point. You know, what is the point? Really, what is the point? You know, what's the point of my life? Do you know the point of your life? Do you know the point? What's the point of working an entire life and then getting to where we are with the recession the way it is? What's the point of living life the way I was told I should live it? What's the point? And then all of a sudden experiencing this healthcare crisis. What's the point of being in a relationship for so many years and all of a sudden it stops growing, or you realize it didn't bring the fulfillment that you need or you want? What's the point? What's the point to life? What's the point to anything? So which one of us can really define the point? That is the mastery of the day, to get to the point. And to get to the point, I believe, requires consciousness. So in this series of Getting to the Point with LennyIzzo.com, I will be talking about three particular categories of living experience that I believe we are all somewhere in process with. And it's on my website. And the first category is healing. And I have a lot of passion, a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience over 34 years as a professional in the world of healing. And it is not just healing the way most people think healing is, which is the conventional model. It really is healing based on that wellness model, conscious healing. And I will be talking and providing videos and information and webinars, classes on the web for conscious healing. My first one that's coming out will be on conscious cleansing and what that's about. And that's my next video that I'll be making in the next day or two. So healing, if you're not healing something in your world, if you don't have something to heal physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if you're not consciously engaged in some level of healing, the world is engaged in healing. The recession is about healing. It's about healing our economy, and it's connected to a larger global economy. We can't go it alone anymore like we thought we could, but that's another discussion. The other dialogue that I have on my website, LennyIzzo.com, is about awakening and transformation. If we're not consciously looking to bring to the point some part of my life, if I am not consciously looking to heal some part of my life, then I am in a process of awakening and transformation. I don't need to heal it. I need what I require is to move forward, to awaken to another level, possibly a level that does not need healing and requires coming forth. It requires embracing that level. Not all things need to be healed. Not all parts of ourself need healing. There's a part of ourself that doesn't require healing. And if I've moved through a cycle of healing and transformation, what is there left to do? What do I do then? Very often over the years, when I got confident enough in myself, a person would sit in front of me, and whether they came in with a first, second, or third stage cancer, a degenerative condition, allergies, chronic headaches, migraines, whatever the ailment was, when I became confident enough in myself, I would ask a question. And the question would be, so when you are healed, how will your life have changed? Can you imagine that? Because when you can imagine yourself in the future, when I can imagine myself in the future and create a clear intent, a clear purpose behind anything that I want to accomplish, whether it be healing, whether it be a cycle of awakening and transformation, whether it be anything that I want to accomplish in the world, when I bring my consciousness into it, there is a greater opportunity for success and bottom line result, getting to that point. So I began to ask that question, and it really helped change my relationship with people, because then people came into a partnership. This particular video, and I am looking to stay on a 15-minute timer with this, with these videos, is about conscious change. And when we go through healing, transformation, what is left? What's left is to bring what has been healed in me, what I have transformed in me, in my own consciousness, my belief systems that were limiting, my outer trappings that I have accumulated that sometimes along the way become the doorway for the next change. You know, what I have become familiar with and what I've become secure with, those limitations, whatever defines my comfort zone, when I've healed those parts in me that would deny me growth, and that's my own voice, my own saboteur, the programs within me. True healing is an internal job. It's an inside job. And you can tell I'm not just talking about healing a symptom. We're talking about healing the mind, the heart, the soul. Soul doesn't need healing. It simply wants to be born. And that's the stage of evolvement that I believe we're at right now. The soul being born in the world, your spirit being born through you, your authentic self being born through you, is the revelation of your leadership. And that is the third category of my ongoing dialogue: healing, transformation, and leadership in the world. So how do we go through any of those processes? Well, we can go through it consciously, or we can go through it unconsciously. And to get to leadership in the world, and to be in a process of transformation that's just not painful, but is joyful, and it's pleasurable, and it brings growth, requires conscious choice. I can go through change unconsciously, and life will get a hold of whatever resistance is in me and force me to change. That's what most disease patterns are, really. And I'll talk about that within another video, but not now. Now I want to define, and I'll preface this by saying, don't believe me. Don't believe anything I say. See what resonates with your truth. I'm not the only one out there that's saying this. What I have here is the change continuum. This is a duplicate of the wellness continuum. I saw this diagram presented by Dr. John Travis in 1978. It shifted my whole perception of healthcare and wellness. The change continuum is based on this. The only place we really can change from is in the now. Most of the time, I've been taught, or we have been programmed to live in the past or look to try and live in the future. We can't live in the future. The only way we can live in the future is through our imagination as we create the future. So are there steps, practical steps, that are actually required, I didn't make this up, for conscious change? I'm not speaking about unconscious change. Unconscious change relates to someone who chooses to stay in the past, who chooses to stay within some pattern of restriction that could be comfortable, that could provide some temporary security. However, it does not promote evolution and growth. And today the directive for those who are aware or awakening to a higher directive is, will you change? Will you bring your life forward? Will you be a contributor to the advancement of our society? Yourself, your life, your family's well-being, community, and global community. That's what's connected right now. We cannot live a life alone. We can try to, but if you stay isolated, you ain't changing. So going in the direction of non-change is defined by living in a sense of false security. What's secure for you now? Someone the other day said to me, I just want things to go back to normal. I said, really? Can you define normal anymore? What's normal? So from false security, if I attempt to solidify or preserve my security, I will end up at some level of stagnation. And this is usually what happens in the second phase of life. This is what happens in our culture. Some part of me will become stagnant, whether physically, mentally, or emotionally. And when I become stagnant, I'll hit an experience of inertia, where the spirit in me, my inspiration, stops moving. And when I lose inspiration, when a person loses inspiration, you will lose your direction in life. You might exist for a while, but without inspiration, there is no directive. And without inspiration, the next stage is death. Slow death, but death. We move out. None of us get out of here alive, a good friend of mine once told me. We either leave awake or we leave unconscious. And when we leave unconscious, we look at the state of affairs today in our elder population, and you see what happens in our eldership, which I will get into at another time on how that is a backward program. We are looking, I believe, I am seeking, my community that I'm part of is seeking to shift our world from an unconscious state to a conscious state, and it requires one person at a time crossing over. So how do we go in a direction consciously of creating our future, and creating a future according to our soul's directive, according to our authentic self, according to the changes that I want to see, that I choose to see, not want, but choose to see, the changes that I am already, and simply require an expression of. The first step in conscious change is awareness. I have to be aware of what I choose to change. Also, you can say I have to be aware of what I need to change, but I'm not changing. Many of us need to change your diet, but we're not doing it. Many of us need to change our lifestyle, we're not doing it. Many of us need to change our way of thinking, but the only way that happens is me becoming aware of what requires changing for the benefit of my evolution. And that's the beginning of a conscious journey, the conscious process. Next, once I become aware, I require some education. I require the right education to get what Napoleon Hill called specialized knowledge. I require the right coaching, the right guidance, the right leadership, the right information. And today there's so much information out there. If I'm not aware of what I'm really looking for my own benefit, I'm going to get distracted. I will be distracted. But the right identification, getting to the point of what needs changing, along with the right education. And the word education comes from the Latin root educo or educa or educere. And it truly means, what it means at its root is to draw forth. So true change is really about drawing forth. That when information resonates with your truth, then it draws something forth out of you. And beyond awareness and education, the next stage is action, is putting into action what you've learned, so that I can be the discoverer of the truth that resonates, that has been ignited by this information, by this person, by whomever I am resonating with, whatever it might be. Being in nature provides education for us. Being in nature draws something forth out of us. Eating well draws something forth out of us. The right information, the truth draws something forth from us. But what is difficult today, if not impossible, is I cannot define that for you. I cannot define what your truth is. I have enough of a challenge looking to define it for myself. And once I go through awareness, education, and take action, the next step is change. The next step is some level of evolution and change, authentic change. And this all takes place in the now. It all takes place here. It takes place as I embody it in my living, as I embody it from moment to moment. It is a full-time job. Many people try and bypass the awareness state. How many people do you know, maybe yourself, are going from one seminar to another? I know people that have been seminarians for years. They just go from one educational weekend to another, to another, to another. How many people are following Tony around for many years? How many people are following Wayne around for many years? And not that many of those individuals have not taken that information and embraced it. The only step you can bypass here is really, if you bypass awareness, you're not in conscious change. So awareness is the starting point, to be truly aware. And that's the work of a spiritual warrior, to say, what is it that I really need to change? What is it that is holding me back? And a clue, a key to identifying it, to getting to that point, coming to the point of what needs changing, is to face your fear. Face your greatest fear. Become aware of that. Put yourself in a position where those fears can come to the surface and can be embraced consciously. And that is what so much of the coaching is about, so much of the evolution of therapy to transpersonal psychology. It's not about drugging yourself so that you don't feel, either with soft addictions or with pharmaceuticals or with TV or with whatever. Today, those who are willing to face the fear are the spiritual warriors that are leading the way. So LennyIzzo.com is a website for this community. I am always grateful to have a few minutes with you. My time is up. I've gone a little bit over, not older, but over. And I am looking to stay on point. And therefore, I am saying over and out, bless you in your journey. Any are bound, none are free. I truly believe that. And as soon as you have moved through your own healing and transformation and acquire and activate your leadership in the world, then you will free others. And together we move forward. We can only do this together. So keep it sticky, keep moving, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye for now.